Yes, Fender Stratocaster. But it's not actually a Fender Strat, it's an Indie Strat. Has quite a cool story, and I'll post it in the description box so you can read that, because I can't actually remember all the details and I don't want to lie to you. So it's going to get a Re-Fret, jumbo frets. Currently sits at a 14-inch radius, which is a little bit too flat for, you know, for it to feel like a real Strat. So it's going to go to a 9.5. Yeah, let's get to it. Got to remove the frets. How I'm going to remove the frets is the old steaming technique. Got a soldering iron with a slot in it, an old soldering iron, the one you don't care about. Yeah, so I'm going to steam them out to prevent any chip out on the fretboard. And yeah, let's get to it. So I like to steam the frets out. So this is how you do it. Get a bit of water on a paintbrush, put it on the fret, grab a soldering iron, heat up the fret. This has got a slot in it, by the way, which is cut to go over the fret, and then pull the frets out. I'm going to show you how I do it, because on the camera it won't show, you'll just see a hand. So how I do this is you got your nippers here, and you just want to go over the end of the fret and sort of nip it at the edge, and then work your way across, pulling the fret out slowly and carefully. So yeah, you don't want to go fast, you want to take your time, otherwise you can seriously fuck this up. Which I've learnt over the years of doing it. So yeah, I'm going to speed up the video here so you don't have to watch the whole thing. So yeah, here we go. Well, there we go. They are out. There's a few bits of chip out down there, but nothing bad. For some reason from down here they were glued in with some sort of really strong, horrible glue. So I've got to do some chip repairs, and then I'll be moving on to re-radiusing the board. So stick around. So the way I like to do chip out repairs is get a sort of tub full of rosewood dust, some CA glue, layer in a bit of CA glue over the wounded area, get something to sort of spread that around, take a big sort of clump of that, put it over the top, squish it down with your finger, and that's it. That's, you know, simple as that. Let that dry, and then when you re-radius the board it will flatten it out anyway, so, and then you won't even see it's there. So I've got a few of these to do, and then it'll be time to re-level the fingerboard and re-radius the fingerboard. So when you're done, you're left with this shit. So re-radiusing a fingerboard, or something you want to get right, is you want to get the neck straight, make sure it's completely straight, which you will need something that I can't find. There you go, a straight edge. This is just a not straight edge, but you can use it as a standard one. And at the moment, you can probably see that, you know, set it on the board. And it's got a little bit of a curve in it in a minute. So grab your truss rod, Allen wrench, which I haven't put back in the right spot. On you go. I want to tighten this up. That is straight. So I then like to take, I personally like using a coloured Sharpie, mainly a light colour that you can see, like gold. And I'm sure there's a name for this pattern, but I don't know it. It's just, let's just call it the square pattern. I like to do that all across the front of this, so you know when you've gone over it with the radius block that you've known you've hit every spot, and you should get a perfect 9.5 radius. So that's what I'm doing right now, as you can see, just putting these squares in, and I'm going to do that all the way down the fingerboard. So when you're done, you're left with some mess like this. I've never been able to do it really neatly. Some people I've seen are so precise with it that it looks amazing. I'm not good at it, but it does the same job. I then like to take my radius block. These are made by Crimson Guitars. They're fucking brilliant. I swore, I'm sorry. This is 80 grit. And this is 120, and then I'll put different grades going down to get it nice and smooth. Usually 120 is all right, but yeah, so you start off with 80 and you just basically work your way down. You can see what it's doing. It's you know, you can see it's taken away some of the lines that I've drawn. So once you've got rid of all of that, you'll then have a perfect 9-inch radius, no, 9.5-inch radius fingerboard. So once you're done, you'll have all the Sharpie has gone, and you'll have a beautiful 9.5-inch radius board ready for frets. One thing I will say before you put frets in, just get all the dust out and collect all of this sawdust here, because next time you do a refret, you can put it in your tub of rosewood dust for any chip out. Sweet. So got some Hosco jumbo fret wire from Northwest Guitars. This stuff is brilliant. I use it all the time. What I like to do is take some tape and lay it sticky side up on the bench and sort of sticking it down with another couple pieces of tape. And this is so you can place your pre-cut fret wire things on the board without it getting everywhere and, you know, not being able to find your fret wire. Right, so what I like to do is just rough out the size, get your nice nippers and cut a piece of fret wire to size. And that's your first one. I like to work from the bottom up. It's just what I do, it just works best. I've no idea why, but I've always done that. And make sure this doesn't go flying everywhere like it does. So there's 4 pieces there. We'll start with 4. Unfortunately, my fret hammer is currently broken because I bought a load of shit. Always get good tools, that's another thing. This is already radiused and ready to go, but I do like to give it another, you know, just a bend, pre-bend, just to make sure. So I don't really ever use glue or anything because I find it's just a pain in the ass if it doesn't, if you need to refret it again. And then especially with Strats, because they always go in with no, you know, you don't have to cut the tang to make it fit. What I like to do is move some of this shit out of the way so you can see, is put the fret in like that, then give it a tap on each side like so, and then sort of working across into the middle from both sides to seat it. And what you will have, I always like to look down it and check it's already fully seated against the flat against the board and the radius. And there you have a beautifully seated fret. That's gone in really well. Check the ends. Yeah, no complaining with that. And so on. I'll show you another one. Camera's moved because of the stupid hammering of the board, but there you go. So take your piece of fret wire, put it into the hole, the slot, sorry, bang it on each side, then work your way across the middle. I'll try and do it so that it's in the camera, but it's pretty hard to do. Again, check in to see if it's seated properly. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to speed up the video here so you can understand. Actually, I'll do one more for you. So, by the way, I've already cleaned all these slots out, scraped them with a razor blade to get any shit glue out, but they were quite clean, to be honest. So take your fret, put it in the slot. Remember, if you think it's not bent enough, just give it another little bend on each corner to help the radius. Put it in the slot, if it will go in. Bang on each end. Yeah, so what you're left with, some beautiful seated frets. So I'll speed up the video and get these in. I think I might not have enough fret wire, so I might have to swap this into 2 days, but hey, who cares? So we're left with some beautifully seated jumbo frets. It seems that I've run out of fret wire, which is annoying. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frets to go, I've run out of bloody fret wire, but hey go. So yeah, so next will be chopping off all the fret ends, filing down with this special, I don't know who it's made by, that company, which is amazing. So yeah, I will quickly show you how to snip these horrible sharp ends with the frets I've already put in. I get some, you know, end nippers, but grind them flat basically, so they can go nice and, oh, it's hard to do, nice and flush against the board, if you see what I mean. Nice and flush against it. So I can't think of an angle of the camera to put this in where you can see what I'm doing without having one of them stupid head cameras, which I'm not going to wear because I've got a fat head. So yeah, so then you just work your way down. I'll do a few and then I'll show you. So what you're left with is some nice close fret ends. So you don't have to spend ages filing with your beveled end file. So yeah, I'm going to do all that, and yeah, and then the next stage after that will be doing all the fret ends with this incredibly expensive Hosco file, if I can get that the right way around. This was like £40, but it's well worth it. It's a fantastic file for doing fret ends. So what you're left with are these flush cut, horrible looking fret end bits. Don't worry about any of this sort of mess on the sides here, because at the end of it I'm going to give it a coat of lacquer just to seal it all and make it look nice, because that's just what I like to do. So yeah, I'm going to do a part 2 of this once I get all these installed, and then it will be on to doing the ends of the frets, leveling, crowning, polishing, and then lacquering the edges. So yeah, stick around, subscribe, see you later.